checked all the x-rays and MRIs. Everything shows negative. Wait, what's that?
Welcome to the 2002 Ultimate Streetcar Challenge. I'm your host, Eric Kozalou. This is my brother, Mark. Our friends know us as Koz and Grim, so for the next hour, just consider us friends. The Ultimate Streetcar Challenge is an annual event presented by Sport Compact Car Magazine. Yeah, every year the magazine's readers nominate the 10 baddest street cars to go head-to-head in this grueling two-day competition. That's right, and on this video, you get exclusive behind-the-scenes look at what went down. We're going to check out the cars, meet the owners, find out who gets bragging rights on the dyno test, quarter mile on the skid pad, road course, gross display of horsepower, and a whole lot more stuff. And at the end of the 2 days, only one car will be able to claim the title of the Ultimate Street Car. It's all very cool. It's all very happening. Let's get it popping. Let's check it out. Now, let's take a look at the cars that you, the readers of Sport Compact Car Magazine, voted in as the combatants in this year's Ultimate Street Car Challenge. Let's check it out. Well, first of all, Daniel, tell us what the car is, tell us about the setup.
Basically, it's a 1998 Skyline GTR, stock internals. We're running 25 HGAS 2530 dual ball bearing turbos.
Okay.
No main 60 cams, 720 injectors, and basically it's all tuned through a Power FC.
What about your suspension? You're going to be ready for road racing tomorrow?
Yeah, you know, we're running all-in external reservoir, one-piece coilovers.
Okay.
So, you know, we're ready for the road course.
How much boost are you going to be running today?
Probably 1.5 bar.
Okay, pretty substantial.
Yeah.
What about the tires? What are you going to be using the tires this weekend?
We're using Hoosier road race tires.
So this thing should move.
It should.
I know I'm a big Toyota fan, and I got my money on that Supra I just seen pulled up. It looks pretty mean.
Supra. This is the one right here.
You think this thing's going to beat the Supra?
Absolutely, man. Forget about the Supra.
You want to put money on it? 1993 Mitsubishi Eclipse GSX is a four-cylinder, all-wheel drive turbo car from factory, although this thing is not stock anymore. Definitely not. It's got a fully built motor. It's got a big ball-bearing turbo on there. Lots and lots of good stuff. And standalone engine management, built transmission, suspension, brakes, man, yada yada. This car sounds to be pretty serious. I think it's going to do pretty well in the quarter mile. These guys are talking a lot of smack. Yeah, they drag race the car a lot. That's what they do, and that's what the car was built for. So I don't know how it's going to do with the rest of the test, but it should be brilliant. Damn, what is this? This is really interesting. Let's meet Jerry, see what he's got here. What is this thing?
It's a Viking SRX-7.
I've never seen anything like this before.
Now we build these ourselves.
And this is a street car.
It's a street legal car. That was one of the main concepts in doing it. And we're looking for as much performance as we can drive on the street.
So you got 1,700 pounds.
1,700 pounds.
A lot of tire.
A little less than 400 horsepower.
Racing shop.
400 horsepower.
400 horsepower. Racing shocks. Really stiff chassis. Carbon fiber body that's bonded to the chassis, so we get a composite structure that's extremely stiff. And for a lightweight, high-powered sports car, the rotary is absolutely the best power plant.
Well, there's some piston guys here that are going to disagree with you today.
Well, we'll see what they say at the end of the day.
Excellent answer. Excellent answer.
I don't want to hear what they have to say.
Manny's got a 1996 Toyota Supra Turbo. It's an inline 6-cylinder, 3-liter motor, comes twin turbo from factory, and it is not stock anymore. This is one of the baddest cars that was brought to the United States from Japan. He's got a fully built motor. He's got a big, innovative single turbo on there. He's got an engine management system. He's got giant brakes, big shocks. He's got the interior. He's got under the hood. Fuel system, roll cage. The car is built. He's got everything done to it. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's in. It's out. It's this. It's that. It's a really great looking car. And he talks a lot of shit, so he should be able to put up something this weekend. I love the style on this car, man. This thing is beautiful. Well, Dr. 510 Classic. Let's check it out. How much power are you planning on belting out of this thing today?
I hope to put 400 in the wheels.
What's the setup on the car? What's the story?
The Haltech E6K, turbo rotary, 3mm seals, street fork, TO4S turbo, Skyline intercooler. It's got a lot of power, so I'm just worried about winning the road course.
It's kind of rugged, but I like it though. Well, personally for me, I'm all about it. I think
Absolutely,
the car is badass.
Thank you.
But you know, the show car guys are probably gonna have a little field day on you, to be honest with you.
That's fine with me.
They might not understand the classic car here, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You help put this thing together?
Yeah.
Good deal, good deal. This is the 2002 Subaru WRX. I know a lot of people have been waiting to see one of these cars performing up to its potential. Comes from factory as a turbocharged 4-cylinder all-wheel drive, so it's pretty stout to begin with. It's a really nice car to start off with, but they went ahead and put rods and pistons in it. They put a bunch of the HKS parts on the outside of the motor, header, turbo, downpipe, and all the other electronics that accompany and all that good stuff. It's got a nice HKS suspension. It's got big brakes. This car should be pretty stout then. It looks great too. You came all the way from where?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Tell us a little bit about the car.
The car's on this setup made a little over 500 horsepower, made 516 to the wheels.
Now that's at Eurodyno, it's not today yet.
That's correct. We're running a 63 trim turbo kit, Jag.
All right.
JG Autobrock intake. It's got JE pistons, Crowler rods, Dart sleeves.
So it's a built sleeve motor.
Yeah, fully built head.
You came here to represent for the East Coast, right?
Absolutely.
So how you gonna
do whatever it takes to I'm gonna put the car in its max.
So there you go. Yeah, if you're gonna blow it up or it's gonna go, right?
Pistons will see daylight if that's what it takes to do it.
That's what I'm talking about. This is a 1996 Mitsubishi VR4 Spyder, a V6 all-wheel drive turbo. I mean, it sounds like a great platform, although the convertible probably adds a couple hundred pounds to the whole overall weight of the car. It's a pretty heavy car to begin with. He's got a lot of stuff polished on the car. He's got everything was touched on it. It looks really beautiful, and he's a great sport for coming out here anyhow. He knows that he's going to be the underdog, but he's obviously a car nut, so we got to give him props for that. And I hope the car does well, but it looks like it's going to get beat up pretty badly out here.
Yeah, he did a beautiful job building it, though. It's a really great looking car.
We've got what appears to be a Viper GTS here. What year is the car?
It's an 01 GTS ACR model.
So that means it's a limited production piece?
Yeah. They only made, I think, 200 a year or so, and came with suspension and a couple other minor things, but I've already pulled that stuff off, so.
I would think that this car would do pretty well even in stock form, but you look like you've modified it pretty substantially.
Caldwell Racing rebuild the whole motor from bottom to top. Did the top end.
The heads are ported?
Heads are ported, bigger valves, bigger cam. It's not too bad though. Compression's not too high, so it can still run pump gas.
Suspension stock on the car too, have you modified that also?
No, suspension's completely modified. Has Penske triple adjustable, EMI suspension put on. Yeah. All that together, I think, will make it do fairly well on the road course. That's what it's really set up for.
Look at this guy over here. This is unbelievable, man. This is the guy from last year with this Ferrari. They changed the rules because of this guy last year. We gotta have a talk with this cat. See what his story is. Hey, where you going? No. Don't be closing that thing just yet. What, you were the guy with the Ferrari last year, right?
Yeah, yes I was.
And they made a lot of rule changes because of what you did last year, right? Showing up with a $170,000 car is pretty outlandish.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. So this looks like a lot lesser of an automobile than last year.
In terms of price-wise, yes, but in terms of performance, I think we'll do quite well this year.
Really? That's something I wouldn't really expect that out of this. That is a bold statement comparing what you had last year.
Well, I am the reigning champion, so I'm here to defend my title.
And you're here to defend it with this?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm sure the car is going to perform well on the road course. It's a slot car, but how much power can this thing make? How are you going to handle the drag strip?
It's a 1.8 liter engine, stroke to 2.1 liters. We have a turbocharger in it, so it should do okay. It's not the most powerful car here, but the car only weighs 2,200 pounds, so we have a very good chance, I feel.
What about the brakes? They look mighty stock.
They are mighty stock. They're bone stock brakes, and I put different brake pads in it, and that's it.
That's it. Did you see the size of the brakes on that Super?
Sometimes size don't matter, it's how you use it.
Really? Oh. Well, you know, you got to realize that, like, this Viper guy and, like, the Super guys and the Skyline guys, I mean, they came here because of you last year and said, you know, screw that guy with that Ferrari, man. I got to go down there and lay the smackdown. And then you show up with this. So I like your style. And
it'd be fun if I won again.
Reigning champion. This has got to have a lot of balls to bring this as reigning champion.
It's a good all-around street car, and this is the ultimate street car challenge, not the ultimate race car challenge.
Here's how the scoring works in the Ultimate Street Car Challenge. The competing cars go head-to-head in 15 categories during this grueling 2-day showdown, from dyno tests that gauge peak power to the, well, kind of unusual grandma test.
All the judges give each car a numerical score from each test. Those scores are totaled in each category, and then most of them are translated into a 0 to 100 scale, obviously 100 being the best.
Duh. Well, anyhow, that's how the numbers were. Enough about numbers. Let's go see what these cars are really capable of doing.
This is the dyno test, where horsepower rules.
Yeah, there are actually two tests here, peak power and power delivery, representing almost 15% of the total points of this whole competition.
So there's some big engines, some big torque. What do you think about that Skyline? You think he's got a chance?
Nope. We want to surprise some people. 2 M's in Mumford for the trophy.
And some big numbers that'll be coming out of this event.
We'll have quite a few over 5, there's no doubt.
I can't wait to see it.
They're about to run the Skyline here. I know you want to see this. I've been waiting to see this. I'm sure everyone else is waiting to see this one, too. What do you think it's going to do?
Probably about 515, 520, like that.
What are your predictions here? What do you think?
I think it's a heavy car and a lot of height, but it should make a lot of horsepower, and I hope it does.
Well, if anybody's going to make horsepower, he's got a good chance, too.
And that's what we're here to see.
Let's see what he's got.
He's getting in the wrong side. Oh, no, that's my bad.
Sounds like a decent amount. Go find out, see what he's made. Drum roll, please.
494.
494.
Skyline GTR. Very cool.
That's supposedly one of the biggest horsepower cars this weekend. I think he made the haul all the way across the country for this. I smell the race gas. Absolutely. He's actually running high boost race gas. Supposedly make about 550, he says. We'll have to see.
What about this guy with the Eclipse? He laid down some decent power today, right?
527.
That's pretty decent, man.
1 pole. Walked in here, did 1 pole, and walked out.
This is what we've been waiting for all day, the Viper. They got it down on the dyno. This is going to be good. It's going to make like 500 horsepower, I think.
This is the only car here with push rods. This is big Detroit iron V10. Let's go watch this.
Camshaft, big, everything, big, 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 American big, good big, everything's big. It's gonna be big.
It only spins at 6,000 RPM. I guess that's what your push rod gets for you, but it also gets you lots of torque.
No, it also gets your earwax loose.
529, what do you think?
Not bad for push rods and 91 octane.
540 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah, if there's any competition for you here tomorrow, who do you think it is?
What do you think of any competition?
Oh, we got a confident Viper owner here. Torque. Lots of torque.
We know the Supra's
The
here.
Supra is going to be, you guys are going to have to sit in the back of the Supra and hold it down.
There's a little bit frightening here. I hope this car doesn't move around like the Skyline does.
Yeah, tell me what Manny's air fuel ratios are.
Manny made 619. That was pretty exciting right there. That was cool, you know?
All right, the results from the dyno are in, and as we predicted, the Supra came out on top.
619 horsepower. Nice. Followed closely by the Viper with 541.
The Impreza didn't do too well, as did the MR2 and the 3000 GT, following way behind.
They got a lot of work with these big cars.
Power delivery, nothing changed. Supra still out on top.
Followed closely by the Viper. Big torque numbers, push rods, unleaded fuel, amazing.
The 510 and the Integra, pretty poor scores on power delivery. Got to be very peaky engines. Being a big power guy, the dyno is pretty impressive to me, but there's a lot of tree huggers out there that are impressed with the emissions tests as well. Being, I guess, these cars are street cars, they should pass the sniffer test.
You know, it's going to be it's going to be very difficult for some of these cars to pass, especially the rotaries. Well, I didn't see nothing, but I think I might have seen Manny flashes some cash around the guy running the test.
That would be against the rules, but probably not against Manny's principles.
Good try for Manny.
I think that the Viper's got catalytic converters on it, so we should do pretty well. A lot of these cars are missing catches, and that's going to make it kind of tough to pass the sniffer test.
Okay.
All right, the results for our emissions test are finally in. Big surprises here. Skyline GTR on top, followed by that Laminar.
A Laminar, rotary-powered piece. Thought that thing be down by the bottom. And obviously, looks like Manny's bribe didn't work out for him either, because he didn't do too well.
All right, boom, off to the engineering department. These are where a panel of esteemed judges, handpicked by the guys over at Sport Compact Car Magazine, are going to go over these cars with a fine-tooth comb.
Looking for attention to detail and overall build quality.
Wow, we're over here with the Guru panel, and want to get a little bit of a background on what you guys are exactly looking at when you take a look at these cars. Tell me what you guys are looking for.
We're looking at the cars more for what they've done to improve the car. Just because they put a lot of parts on it doesn't mean they necessarily help the car. If somebody took something good off a car, they could have made the car worse. We're looking for what they did, how they improved the car, and how well they did, or the execution, how well they did this.
Personally, I like this car quite a bit. It's because he's executed it well. You know, he's tried to make a hot little street car that maybe somewhat of a sleeper with a powerful engine, and he's done that well.
I like it. It's old school and it's very well done, very clean.
Yeah, I like it a lot myself. It looks good. What do you think about it?
I love it. Classic style, modern power plant, modern suspension, components, electronics with classic body style. It can't be beat in that respect.
All right, results from the engineering tests are in. The Laminar did very well. Obviously, that's a hand-built automobile, and I guess it shows.
Followed closely by the Viper, and I looked at that car myself, and it is beautiful. It was built by real race car people, and it obviously shows.
510, we love the car. It came out in the middle of the pack. I guess it's a little bit backyard, but still, I love the car.
Beautiful. All right, the car show part of the competition is all about how these cars look. Are they styling? How's the paint job? How big is the owner's ego? What's the interior look like? And most importantly, does it get chicks?
That's pretty friggin' shallow.
It is what it is.
The Viper's probably one of the best designed cars. The car is beautiful, but man, needs wax.
Of course, the real car judges are looking for some very real things. The car's fit, finish, its overall appearance, and they take the job very seriously.
And we ran into some ladies that looked pretty damn good, and we kind of wanted their opinion on what they judge these cars like.
These are the unofficial judges.
Can't beat that.
This is not really part of the judging, but we needed to throw this in there because the main reason that most of these guys build the cars, or at least a good part of it, is to get women. Let's face it. Absolutely. These are chick cars right here. You know? So we thought of a great way to figure this out is, look, me and him are identical twins. So between you ladies here, if, say, for instance, I rolled up in an 80 Corolla, and you rolled up in a, say 600 SL, would the SL make the difference over the Corolla? And let's be truthful about it.
Yes. I don't want to sound shallow, but come on, of course. It's all about being flashy, you know? It's like you want what's new, what's obvious, and like money, power, fast cars, hot chicks. I mean, what are you going to do? Come on.
The first car here, ladies, what do you think of this thing here? Anybody got any commentary?
I like it. It's really shiny, like with the chrome in the front. It's awesome. Good shape. Yeah, definitely.
Scale of 1 to 10, ladies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
8, 9.
All right.
Bumblebee, I don't like it. No. I'm not really feeling this one. It's average. I'd say it's 5, 4. WRX. I'm not feeling this one either. 2-door. It needs to be 2-door. I like it. I give it 2.
A 2?
Yeah.
Wow. That's rough.
They're quick too.
I'll give it the same as last one, 4.
4.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The ladies are not feeling it that much, though.
I'm not feeling this
It
for
is
sure.
cute. It's old school.
It's really old school, but I don't know. Is this supposed to be here?
Absolutely. This is a classic
Yeah,
car here.
classic.
Wait, hold up. Look at the body line.
It's also got a
Classic car,
selfish
modern
seat.
technology. You
It is
don't
very
see cars
classic,
that
but
look
it's
like
really
this.
bumpy. I like things very sleek and very sexy and smooth. No, I'm not feeling this one for sure.
Not feeling
And
it.
inside, it's really like empty. I mean, there's not much going on. Selfish because
car for the lady.
selfish because you only got one seat. There's no
Yes.
seat for the girl. So
Yeah.
I'm done with that.
Driver only kind of car.
0.8. 0.
3.5. Say a 2.
Yeah.
3.5.
Wow. Didn't do very well. Did not do well. Viper.
Oh, I like this. 10. 10. Yeah. I don't even need to know how fast it is. You know what I mean? You just want to slide around on it or something.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think the Viper is working for the ladies.
It is. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. A resounding 10 for the Viper.
I want to jump right in. I want to jump right in there with him. Yeah, for sure. I'm going. Right now.
All right, kids, car show results are in, and the Super Turbo came out on top.
The 3000 GT came in last.
That's pretty surprising. That car's got more chrome I've seen on anything here today.
Well, anyhow, this test is obviously very subjective, so your favorite car might not have won, but they all look real good to me.
This year there's a new test category, base price.
That's right, and like we mentioned earlier, that's all thanks to our reigning champion, James Chen, who showed up last year with a $170,000 Ferrari he just brought from the dealer and blew everybody's doors off.
Yeah, so this year, base price is also going to be factored into the mix, meaning that a car has got to give some value for the buck. It just can't be a gajillion-dollar supercar. All right, here are the results for the base price. Now, these are based on when the car was new, so the 510 comes out on top.
Being it was built in 1972, $2,000 is pretty impressive.
The Viper comes out on the bottom of the pile. Some serious coin there, about 90 grand for that car, and that is that's one of the more expensive cars here, and obviously it shows.
All of this car abuse would not have been possible without the help of our sponsors, Tukiko Shocks and Wheels Boutique. We got to thank them. We got to give them a big shout out, and hopefully they'll come back next year.
So they're saying they're going for the grandma test right now.
That's a very important test, though, for this whole thing.
Well, it's a huge test. You throw grandma in the car and take it to the store.
It could happen.
It could happen.
Oh, hi there. Oh, I think I'm having a bowel movement. Just waiting for my ride to the store. What's going on? Oh, dear. Can you turn the air conditioning on? Don't be looking. I'm not looking. My crack's getting all sweaty. Leg lover.
Let's go ask Grandma what she's looking for today evening.
Yeah, see, I'm interested myself. Man, you having a good time, Grandma? You chilling?
Oh, these are some nice cars and nice young men with them, and
They've been gentlemen with you, because I know you're showing a lot of leg there, and I know it's got to be tough for the drivers to concentrate on the road.
everyone except for Jay.
Sometimes size don't matter, it's how you use it.
He's a brandy young man, and, well, it's understandable.
Grandma, what are you going to be looking for in these cars?
This is supposed to be a street car, and I just want to be comfortable. That's all.
What do you like about it? You don't like about it? What's your thoughts?
Well, this car was easy to get into. It doesn't have a cage, but it does have one of these funny seat belts with the coochie belt, I call it. And, well, it's right on the old coochie there.
We're going to let you do your business now.
I feel dirty even talking to Grandma like that. Enjoy the ride.
Oh, 80 years old and still getting it, dear.
Getting it from whom?
Anyone I can. You're going to take advantage of me here, I can tell. I think my diapers are full, so we might have to go back to the store. I told them to slow down. They're not speeding or anything.
Ready, Grandma?
I'm ready, dear.
Let's do it.
It's not bad for a Civic, honey.
See?
Pretty fast. What was that here?
What was what?
Oh, that was me. I'm sorry. You might want to turn the air on for a minute. Oh, it's gonna sting. You have some Scotch Guard in here, dear? Oh, dear. Oh, okay. Thank you, dear. That was very fast and nice and scary.
What's the deal with this?
Oh, it's my...
Do Grandma's
you
job.
went through my purse?
I need to get out of here.
You went through my purse? What is...
Grandma, back and forth?
You got it. You want some of this?
You got it.
You want some of this?
I don't want any of that.
Here, look at this. See, action, action.
Yo, Grandma just smacked me in the friggin' head. Grandma's over with when I see her again at the end of the day. Give me the... Yo, Grandma, I seen you, and it ain't over yet, Grandma. We gotta finish this by the end of the day. It's on.
Results for the grandma test are in.
The 3000 GT, being the least radical of all the cars, came in first.
The rotary, on the other hand, probably rides like a stone, came in dead last, probably rattled one of Grandma's kidneys loose.
And I think she broke her hip falling out of the Laminar SR7.
Hence their low scores.
A lot of testing going on this weekend. One of the major things is all-around drivability test, and that's what separates a street car from a race car, drivability. All right, so we have Shivs over here in James's car. Shiv, what are you looking for today?
I am the drivability tester. I'm going to be driving all these cars to see how they drive in the real world, not necessarily on a dyno on a track, but under conditions we see during day-to-day driving.
Well, have fun and let us know how this one turns out. What do you think?
Very impressive car. Great power delivery, very easy to drive hard. No real problems except for a couple of stalling issues when the car was cold. but once the temperature got up, heated up, ran just fine. No problems whatsoever.
Good job, James. All right. This is a very interesting car here. It looks like you're going to have an interesting ride. Probably got your work cut out for you with this one. What's your basic impression of it?
It's a very unique car. It makes 360 horsepower to the wheels, only weighs about 1,700 pounds. It should be very, very impressive in many ways.
And tough to get into.
And quite tough to get into, yes. But we'll see.
What do you think?
Very difficult car to drive on the street or highway without goggles and a helmet. The level of wind protection is minimal. The front Hoosier tires kick up gravel and road debris in my face.
So you're liking it so far?
It's a very visceral car. Under power, this thing is just awe-inspiring. Making it even more scary is the fact your eyes are closed half the time because of the wind.
And you got noise too?
A lot of noise, a lot of wind noise. Ergonomics are minimalist. It's quite easy to get your foot stuck underneath the pedals.
Would you say this is a street car?
No. Maybe a back road car with goggles on, but
very loose interpretation of a street car?
I would say that's a fair assessment.
Is that going to show up in your points anywhere?
And yes, it will.
Unfortunately for the owner.
That is correct.
Here are the results for the drivability test, and kind of surprising to me, the Viper did a lot better than I expected. You know, the Viper with well thought out modifications came out on top, and I think it deserves that. The 510, on the other hand, came out dead last, which is disappointing for me. I figured that Laminar would have been last, watching our boy Shiv pick stones out of his teeth. I mean, at least the 510 had a windshield. Here's our fuel economy test. This is a real balancing act for a lot of the cars here because they make big power by dumping tons of fuel into their car. Alright guys, this is how it works. The cars all get their tanks topped off, then the gas caps are taped up so that there's no cheating. Not that anyone would ever cheat, of course, here. Then they drive about 65 miles on a course that includes everything from city streets to mountain roads. When they come back, they get their gas mileage calculated, and we got the results. Here are the results for the gas mileage test. The MR2 did pretty well. That thing got 37.8 miles per gallon, which is amazing, puts it up in street car categories. The Eclipse, on the other hand, did not fare too well. He's got massive amount of injectors on the car and dumps tons of fuel into it. And we know how those rotaries do. So they didn't do too well either. Ultimate Street Car Challenge. Cars, what did we see? Yesterday we saw the car show, we saw the emissions test, the fuel economy test, the engineering test. We saw the dyno, which was really friggin' cool. And we even had to deal with Grandma.
Oh, hi there. You want some of this?
No, I don't want any of that. That was a pain in the ass. She's lucky she doesn't show up today too, right guys? Well, after what happened yesterday, unfortunately for her, yeah. She shows up, what's gonna happen? Probably nothing. Alright guys, the Ultimate Street Car Challenge, brought to you by Sport Compact Car Magazine, continues now on day 2. But before we get into today's competition, let's take a look at how the scoring stood at the end of day 1. So it looks like Manny with the Supra holds a pretty substantial lead heading into today's competition. Well, we'll see if he can hold on to it. Actually, the first 3 or 4 cars are very tightly packed. It looks to be like you've got about 5 guys that could take this thing at any time right now. They could go anyway, and our boy with the 510 unfortunately stuck all the way down at the bottom. I hope he could do a lot better today. Well, at least the road course is what he said he's going to be doing pretty well at, so we got that coming up, and hopefully he'll be able to get at least in the top 3. Skid pad, what is it? .200-foot circle. These cars are going to go around as fast as they possibly can. What does 1G represent to the people out here? If your car, say, as an example, weighs 2,000 pounds, and you can corner at 1G, that means when you're in a corner, there's 2,000 pounds of force being exerted on your tires.
They're going to measure lateral acceleration, which is how much G-forces a car can pull before it starts breaking loose. And that's the Skyline going out right now. Let's see how he does. I think it's going to wind up understeering pretty hard. It looks like it's doing right now. It's leaning real hard. I don't think it's got a suspension optimized set up for this type of a test. You know, this is one of the more boring tests to look at, but it's really important. Well, next car up is the Supra, Manny's car, which is going to be a interesting one to watch here. He's got a lot of horsepower, rear-wheel drive. Can you give us an explanation of what you got going on here and what you're hooking up?
It's the highest technology possible, only the best duct tape available. We duct tape this here infrared transponder to the mirror. We got the two little boxes out there sitting on the skid pad that send out red light. Goes by it once, starts the clock, goes by it again, stops the clock. You know exactly how long it took to go around the circle.
Well, here we go. Dave's got Manny's Supra out there. 600 horsepower at the tire. Come on, Dave, whoop it. Come on, Dave. Beat the crap out of that thing. I don't think that Manny's going to be able to get over a G. Well, Dave's going to bring out the Viper now. And this is one of the cars that I wanted to see personally. He's got a three-way adjustable Penske racing shocks in there, and that's going to help him out a whole lot. And the car is built for racing like this anyways. This is going to be interesting. Let's check this out. It's a squealing. I think that's just over a G right there. Yeah, man. It's not leaning hard at all. What it hit? 1058 on a car that's this heavy. I mean, this guy's got this car set up. This is going to kick some serious butt today on the road race. To show you the degree that Paul is going through to win this event, this guy is for real. He knows his car. He knows the setup. He knows what changes he needs to make to improve on it. And he's going to do it right now. He just pulled the best number so far today, and he still believes that it's got a lot more in it. It's balls. It's big ones. With the suspension, what were you doing with it?
I'm softening up the front, give it a little more grip, and stiffen up the rear a little bit less.
Shit! The Viper just pulled a 1075 on this thing. That's unbelievable. Yeah, that's completely shocking. 1075? Jesus Christ. Here are the results for the skid pad, and no surprise to us, the Laminar SRX7 did very well. 1,700 pounds, lots of tire, good suspension. I knew he was going to come out on top. That's a recipe for lateral G. The Skyline and the Viper also really good, over 1G. That's very, very impressive. Pretty amazing stuff from all the guys. We got some really good cars here today for this test. This is going to make the road course even that much more interesting, and we know what to watch now. Ultimate Street Car Challenge, Day 2. We're at California Speedway in Southern California's road course. This is going to be some serious stuff today. It's going to be great. Let's check it out. This is the key, and it's really hard to get a basis of which car is faster than the other because it comes down to how smooth the driver is. Definitely. So this is a really tough competition for these guys out here. I feel for them. Besides the fact that it's 106 degrees and we're boiling out here, so they got to be boiling inside those cars. All right, they got to be boiling inside the cars, and the cars got to get ready to boil over themselves too. Absolutely. Our classic Datsun right here, Datsun 510 out on the road racetrack. It looks like 1971 all over again with a little more modern technology involved. Well, that car just looks good coming through the corners there. You know, pretty swirly. Yeah, he's understeering a little bit. A lot of haze coming off of that front tire, but still look pretty quick though. Still look pretty quick. I mean, it's really hard to make this thing happen. Look at the haze coming off that front tire. That's about all that he can muster with that thing. That's about it. That tire smells good. Yeah. And there's a lot of smoke coming off of this. Ooh, that was nice. Running a little bit rich there on the deceleration. I like it. I love the spire of melting rotors. Hot lap from the Viking SRX7.
running fast. This is a good car right here. It should be interesting. This car was built for a racetrack like this. This is where it's supposed to shine right here. Hopefully he can bring out the best in it. It's a little slow. You know, a car can be built as good as it can, but it all comes down to the nut behind the wheel at a race like this. You know, it was clean, but it wasn't that fast. I don't know.
Unfortunately for all you rotary fans out there, one of the cars has dropped out of the competition.
The Laminar had fuel pump problems and is out.
And this is our Subaru WRX out here on the road course. Did pretty well out in the skid pad today, decently. He's got good chances out here. Should be able to pull off a decent number around the course. He's coming in pretty fast. Looking good. Nice braking zone. Used every inch of track. That was pretty impressive. Very impressive. Yeah, can't argue that. Oh, that could be a well-rounded car. It's going to do great in the show. It's going to do great in the skid pad. It does great in a lot of tests. Manny, big horsepower Manny with the Supra. Manny's got a camera mounted to his roof, so that's going to give you an opportunity to see what it's like behind the wheel of that 600 horsepower Supra. Well, let's hope for Manny's sake that he's just warming up for it, because that's not fast enough. But more furious. Seems to be happy with himself down there, though. Using lots of RPM, looking real fast. That was fast. Sounds good. He's really stepping on it. Got some definite straightaway speeds. Are you getting that? They're not awarding any style points today, right? Well, the gross display horsepower is supposed to be later, but Manny took it upon himself to give us a preemptive show here. And I don't know if he had that planned or not, because it's not in my schedule. In Japan, they call that drifting, but what they do is they continue and get the car to come out of the corner, not just rotate it for several times. Here we call that f***ing up. Hot lap for the Mitsubishi. Gonna have to step on it. He's way out of his element here. Everybody's worried about temperature. He's got to be one of the most worried out of the bunch. Any of the boosted cars are going to feel it seriously. It doesn't sound good. That's actually very weak. Yeah. He's got to be too hot. He's got to be too hot. If this car can't make it around this turn, it's obviously not the ultimate street car. He almost had it there. That's not the ultimate street car. It's not the ultimate street car. It's over for him. It's absolutely over. He's got no chance. I'm not trying to shit on him or anything, but he's not doing very well on the road race course, but he's got to make it up big time on the track. As of this morning, Manny was in first place in the competition overall. This should be interesting because Manny just really messed his whole program up by spinning out there. I think that was a hot lap. So now that we've got the Skyline out here, this will be his big chance to make up some serious ground if he can do it. Yeah, he's got a really good chance through here. His suspension looks like it was set up really well. It's excellent. The lateral G. Hold on to it. Nice, clean. He hit his marks. He did pretty good that time. Did pretty good. That's a mean car too, man. It's a very mean car. Overall, I think the Skyline's got a good chance of taking this whole event. Yeah, this is a Honda factory race car. We all know the Type R, and this is one over in yellow. You guys seen that it's turbocharged. You see what we got here? He's the Type R coming from the factory in 14. It's got to be a cool down lap. Well, maybe not. He's going to need more than that. I think he's going to have to step on it a little harder.
All right, Paul with the Viper's out on the road course, and I've been waiting all day to see this. He's talking a lot of smack about how he's an excellent driver, and he's going to put up a shut-up right about now.
And obviously, he built this car specifically for road racing. And whoop, I can hear the push rods working in there right now. This thing is no joke.
The push rods are clicking away, and let's see if he can click away a good ET on the track.
All right, road course results are in, and our boy with the Dodge Viper was not bullshitting.
There's a couple of did not finishes here. The Laminar SRX-7, I was expecting to do pretty well. He broke his fuel pump, 3000 GT. I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he was just too pretty. The MR2 broke his transmission, could not finish the event. You know, the Supra and the Skyline separated by about a second. That's pretty impressive.
And a classic supercar battle nonetheless. Supra versus Skyline, classic rivalry. What do you think?
Nah, it's no rivalry. It's just, I mean, I've been beating the guys all weekend long, so it's the least I can do is let him win by half a second on the road race track.
Well, now we know where the standings are for the road course, but now the fun begins for me and you because we get to go drag racing. Me and him are big drag race junkies, like fiends, and a lot of you guys are out there too, and we really need to get on over there because that is going to be the ultimate test. Road racing is pretty cool, but you got a couple laps to make it happen. In drag racing, one-shot deal. Either you do it or you don't, and that's it. And that's what we like. So let's go see if they do it or they don't. We're really at home here on the quarter mile. This is the most exciting element for me personally. We got actually a pretty well-prepared surface for the quarter mile to these pretty ferocious bites that this track's got right now. It should either break some parts or show some pretty decent times here. The rear-wheel drive cars are not going to fare that bad on the surface. It's a good track surface, and some of the all-wheel drive guys are actually at risk of braking. I got my eyes on one car that I think is going to do pretty well out here, but you guys at home, I'm sure, are betting on a specific car, but I guess we'll see how it unfolds. You know, they didn't give us any cars to play with, but they did give us some scooters to play with. So, ready? Let's do this. Let's do this. On you. I'll give you the brake. Quarter mile, baby! Quarter mile! Yeah! In all seriousness, you guys have probably got the best car set up for the quarter mile here. You guys have been talking shit all weekend about dominating this event. As a matter of fact, I even got an estimation from him that his closest competition is going to be within a second. Does that still hold true today?
Yeah, it still definitely holds true. It's just a matter of we can live up to our own particular standards.
You'll be able to keep the transmission in it?
Oh, yeah. What do you think? And if we don't, we have a brand new one in the trailer.
So you guys have a chance to check the track out. What do you think?
Oh, it looks pretty sticky. It's hot, though.
What do you got covered out here, if anything?
I think I got the Integra and the 3000 GT covered.
This is the time to go and show them what it's all about, man. It's 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive. The ass is kicked. Me being a turbo car, it's a fine line between bogging or wheel spin, so if I hit that sweet spot, I get one of my launches right, it's over.
We all noticed is you got two pretty substantial sized bottles in the back of your car. You going to be using any of them right here, right now?
Absolutely. I like to call them the Whoop Ass 1, Whoop Ass 2. And it's, both of them going to get turned on and somebody's getting their ass whooped.
Holy shit, what a second gear! The Eclipse. Really? He's walking away.
Second fast.
Got about half a second.
2 seconds.
Skyline second.
Well, obviously you, so far you're putting the car where your mouth is because you're #1 qualifier, you're top dog. What do you got to say? I saw you watching the Skyline over there. What do you think?
I think he
would be the only one that's relatively close to me. He's a half a second away, which is an eternity. So he's got a lot of catching up to do if he wants to be where we are. So I feel we have this one locked out.
Alright fellas, drag racing. This is what I've been waiting all weekend to see. This is where the green drops and the bullshit stops. Our boys with the Eclipse came out on top running an 11:16, which is pretty damn impressive.
Guys, the Skyline cleaned it up, 11:66, second place. That's smoking on street tires. While they were doing the quarter mile, they measured 0 to 60 in the same time. The Eclipse came out on top again at 3.36 seconds. 0 to 60. That's smoking.
Remember, these are all on street tires, and these guys with the four-wheel drives did really good out there. Of course, it makes no difference how fast a car can go if it can't stop.
Which brings us to the braking test. The goal, shorter stopping distance from 60 miles an hour to 0. Some of these cars got aftermarket brakes. As a matter of fact, most of them do. They all should do pretty good here.
It should be pretty interesting to see which ones work and which ones don't.
60 miles an hour to 0 braking results are in, and the top 3 cars are phenomenal.
These guys are pulling 106 feet, 107 feet. Just amazing supercar braking. Yeah, I just don't even know what to say.
Top 3 cars separated by less than a foot. This is unbelievable stuff right here. These cars will suck the eyes out of your head.
Alright guys, this is it. The last competition in the Ultimate Street Car Challenge, the gross display of horsepower. And this is where they let it all hang out.
The top cars are so closely packed in the scoring that this could very well decide who the winner is going to be, so I'm sure these guys are going to be boiling the tires down to the hides. ever seen in my entire life. Gross display of horsepower results are in, and as you guys already know, the scoring was real tight, so these guys had to do whatever it took to win, and believe me, they tried. These guys beat their cars into the ground for 2 or 3 minutes of just smoke, rubber, flying, just ridiculousness. Tires popping off. The guy in the Skyline was half naked doing his event. This is lunacy. It was crazy out here, and it was just an amazing display of horsepower. The tests are over, the results are being tallied, and the winner is the Viper. Man, push rods come out on top. Followed closely by the Skyline and the Supra, who did really well. You know, all the competitors did very well, but I mean, that Viper, that was a serious car. It's a well-built car, and it deserves to win. It is this year's ultimate street car. So after a long, hard battle, you blew the tires completely off the car in the gross display. Pretty impressive, too. The results are finally in, and you're the man. You won the event. We have our overall winner here, Paul Mumford in the Viper. Paul, have you got an agent yet? What's the story?
No agent yet, but I'm going to be shopping around, go for the highest bidder. Pretty excited about this. It was a great contest, a lot of fun, met some great people. Everybody was really nice. Want to really thank Sport Compact Car for putting it together, and at the end, the only American car won, and I'm kind of excited about that. All right, Paul, one more question. What does all this mean for you? Hopefully a big trophy, lots of bragging rights, and maybe some babes.
Beautiful. Can't ask for more than that. All right, Paul. Working already? From California Speedway, I hope you enjoyed the 2002 Ultimate Street Car Challenge. I know I had a blast. I am beat. What about you, Kaz? I'm exhausted. I had an awesome time this time. I hope you guys did too. I'm Grim. I'm Kaz, and peace out. Testing for the Ultimate Street Car Challenge was conducted at beautiful California Speedway in way too sunny Fontana, California. For race schedules and other information, log on to californiaspeedway.com.
Let's take a look at some of the cars that you, the readers of Sport Compact Car Motor...
It's a little hot. Actually, it's my kid.
Oh, I see. Wait. We got some bystanders here.
It's Superman.
Tell me what they're doing to your car over here right now.
I think they're getting ready to look for the drug. Hope they don't find it.
I got a smudge on my glasses. It's longer than Energy. Yeah. Let's get a sachet on the butt.
No.
6 of them took place yesterday. We saw the engineering, the grandma test, the car show, the dyno, and we even saw grandma. We saw grandma twice. 6 of them took place yesterday. We saw grandma, the dyno, the car show, some other shit I can't remember. There's too many friggin' things. And you're gonna have to show me you got a pedigree to drive a car like that.
I'll show you whatever you want me to show you.
From the California Speedway, I'm Grim. I'm Kaz, and peace out.
Yeah.